Let's go.
Put them together. Yeah. Come on now. Now you go. Yeah. I see you. Talk to him.
That was such a good intro.
Oh, I was muted. That was amazing. Sambo, I'm so happy to have you with us.
Thank you for inviting me on the show, Janine.
Oh my gosh, like a fellow Aussie, I get excited when I hear the Australian accent. Hi, Matt Collier. It's like super fun, and thank you so much for coming on. We have a special guest tonight. We have Jake Collier, who just fought at UFC Apex this past Saturday, and we have a dear friend of mine. His name is Michael Francis, and Jake and Mike are inseparable. They're very, very good friends. And my friend Michael sponsors Jake. And so every time you see Jake on an interview, he's wearing the shirt that says SBX on it. And everyone's like, what the hell does SBX mean? So we're going to talk about that. So we have Mike coming on to talk about his friendship with Jake, how they became acquainted, and this friendship and how they both help promote each other in the fight game, which is super cool. Mm-hmm. And wow, I'm like talking weird because my braces are coming out, and like literally, like I have Invisalign at 40 years old, and they're coming out tomorrow. I don't know if they're taking the bonds off, but they've been on for like 2.5 years.
Oh wow, let's see them. Smile. Oh, you can't really see them. Are they clear?
They're clear, but my teeth are just yellow because of the coffee that I drink.
Do you smoke?
I don't smoke, but I drink an excessive amount of coffee. So after I get them off, I have to bleach my teeth.
Oh, okay. Thank God for bleach.
Thank God for bleach. You look amazing. You're all tatted up. You're super smoking hot. Tell us your story quickly, because I think they're coming on in about 5 minutes. So we have like 5 minutes to like get into Sambo de Campo.
All right. So a little intro about me. I went to Thailand after a breakup, 4 years ago? And then I discovered Muay Thai. Like I hated it first, and then I had my first fight the year later, and I loved it. And then I went back again for a whole year. Work gave me a whole year off, and then I had 11 fights, and I just wanted to keep on fighting because so now, because I came back and then COVID happened. So I've been locked away for 2 years, and now I'm just concentrating on transitioning to MMA.
That's super exciting. And I know Australia has major lockdowns. I know my family tells me all the time. It's so much more intense than we have in the States. Is everything lifting now, or what's going on with that?
Yeah, everything's lifted. So as of 2 weeks ago, we don't need to check in anywhere or show certificates. So yeah, life's coming back to normal, which is good. But now it's getting cold. So who knows? Because each winter, COVID just increases in the colder months. So we still got to be wary.
That are like popping up. So people are starting to get, a little crazed up. Sup, dog? I know, Sambo, your tattoos are super cool. So I'm trying to look in your arm. Like, tell me a little bit about like your tattoos, because they're smoking hot.
Thanks, babe. Well, I started off with the geisha when I was really young. I don't have any meaning to it. I just like Asian pictures, and then it just grew. The most painful one was on my skull, but I've grown my hair back. I've got a skull there. But yeah, I grew my hair back because I just look a bit too scary at work. I don't scare clients away, you know.
I love you. And that's why, like, the show Skulls and Stilettos, like, you were born to be on this show. I'm just saying.
Oh, thank you.
It's like a match made in heaven, because I have a love for skulls, and clearly you do as well. I'm obsessed with skulls. I love it. I love it. It's so, I don't know what it is. It's great.
Same. This looks badass. That's why.
Absolutely. So are you still training currently, or like?
Yeah, I am. I'm training. So I'm doing wrestling now, and I love wrestling. I never thought I'd love the ground game. And I'm the only girl in the class, but there's one girl that's just joined. Her name's Tatum. Shout out to Tatum. Like, I'm so happy there's another girl in my class, because the guys just freaking throw me, and I just I struggle.
And you are like, how many, is it typical, like in Australia, is there a lot of female fighters?
No, so since coming back to Australia the end of 2019, I've been to a few gyms, and I've always been the only girl, and I would love to have or to see more girls at gyms. It's very intimidating when you go into a class and it's full of guys. But thank God, like, the coaches I've met, they're just so sweet, and they really make me feel comfortable. So shout out to Gustavo, my jiu-jitsu coach, and Sam Haywood, my MMA coach from Resilience Training Center in Melbourne, Australia.
I need to it's on the bucket list, Sambo. Like, I've got to get there. My family has been dying for me for years now. I mean, at least now they've been there for 3 decades now. So at least 5 times a decade, they're like, get over here, come over here. Like, what are you doing? And but they say that if I were to go to Australia, that I would need like a month, because by the time you get there and the jet lag, like, you need a good,
Yeah, like a week
month
to get over jet lag, and then just to travel and explore. But why has your family moved to Sydney?
So about 30 years ago, my uncle got a job. We used to have Bell South in the States, which was a telephone service, and it was Optus. It's Optus in Australia. Are you familiar with Optus?
Yes, I am. I'm with Optus.
Are you really? You work with,
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's insane. You work with Optus. Okay. So long story short, my uncle got scouted. He's in IT. He got scouted to work with Optus in the 90s and moved, and it was a deal too good to be true. He moved the entire family. So him, my aunt, and my 3 cousins to Australia, and they've never left. They love it there. He left Optus and worked for another company, and then he retired, but they love the life. They love everything that Australia has to offer, and they literally come back here every year, and that's about it. Oh, look, we've got Jake and Mike Francis on. Welcome.
Welcome.
This is Big Sexy from Union.
Ooh, it's a bromance between the two of them, Sambo. He calls him Big Sexy.
Okay.
Look at that shiner. We're going to get into that. Jake Collier, UFC heavyweight, and Mike Francis, my dear friend, financial advisor, and also the proud owner and founder of SBX, which we are going to get into, which is the social business experience. Is that correct, Michael?
Yeah, and I got a special guest, one of my boys from the Marine Corps.
Hi
Chris
there.
Peoples.
Hi, Chris Peoples. How you doing? I like the haircut, Michael, by the way.
Yeah, well, I had to go back into the office, so.
That's right. That's right. Today was office day. Okay. So I'm super happy to have both of you on tonight with Sambo, who is a fighter. She's in Australia. We were just catching up. So it is 10 a.m. your time?
Yeah, 10 a.m. here on a Thursday.
On a Thursday morning. So it's Cinco de Mayo in Australia right now. That's what it is. So Jake, I literally, I'm going to start this off, and I don't know if you watched this fight on Saturday, Sambo, but honestly, we were all watching this fight. And at the end of the fight, Jake, I have to tell you, I was probably cursing and throwing things at my flat screen and texting Mike, and cursing and using obscene profanity. Like I was mortified. I was mortified and pissed. And that's about all I have to say. That's not completely just vulgar. I don't know what to say. I want to get your take on this to start, because it's the elephant in the room. Like, what the fuck happened?
I don't know. Honestly, I can tell you guys, like, I poured everything in that training camp, and it is what it is. I'm not hating on him by no means. I mean, he's Andre Arlovski. He's, I don't know, like, he's ex-heavyweight champion. I mean, it is what it is. Do I think I won that fight? Yeah, absolutely. But it is what it is.
I mean,
kind of sucks.
You did win that fight, and I'm just gonna say that. You did win. Like, that's not a debate. You did win that fight. Like, in my opinion, you won. I've seen enough fights to keep score in my head, and you were points left and right. First round for sure. Second round, it was about even. Third round, for sure you had that. I mean, there was no doubt in my mind that your hand was going to be raised at the end.
I completely agree.
I'm like, what did I just watch? I mean, without a doubt. And I think something to talk about too is sometimes there's bad refs, there's bad calls. Not everything is fair, and not everything is just and right. I mean, is there anything that could be done, or it is what it is?
I mean, I know that, like, we can challenge things, but it's kind of is what it is. I honestly, I mean, we could challenge things, but it's not going to change anything. So it is what it is.
Is there anything that you've taken away from that fight and will practice more for the next competition, Jake?
Yeah. It's hard, but yeah, I mean, maybe, I know this sounds ridiculous, but maybe not get hit in the face so much. But he's tough. He's tough, man. I don't know.
You did
I know,
amazing,
obviously.
though. Amazing, Jake. You should be super proud of yourself. You fought so freaking well. I had no doubt you won. That's how determined I was and convicted in knowing that you won. I just knew that you won that fight. You did amazing.
Like, with the takedown there at the end, honestly, I thought I had it. But I don't know. It sucks, but I mean, to lose to him, it's really not that. It's not that bad, I guess. I mean, it does kind of suck, though. I really wanted to beat him, but it is what it is. Kind of sucks, really bad. But, it is what it is.
Doing your fight camp, you said you worked really hard, and it showed, though. You have nothing but, like, you should be super proud of the accomplishment and what you put in. I mean, I wrote this down because, I'm a nerd and I like write all my homework and stuff. But I remember watching your fight with Mike in January when you got fight of the night, and it was was it your last fight of your contract with UFC before they re-signed you?
Yeah, it was.
So your last fight in a 10-year run with the UFC, you do a submission and you literally get fight of the night, which was unbelievable. I think we were screaming in the sports bar.
What submission was it?
It was a rear naked choke.
Oh, nice.
in the first round, Sambo, first
Oh.
round. And he has been a seasoned UFC fighter for what, over about 10 years now, right, Jake?
Yeah, he was in there for quite a few years.
Wow.
So you definitely, like, we were screaming. And then what has happened in your life since that? So that was your very last fight with your UFC contract. What has changed in your life since that night? You ended the contract, you got fight of the night, and it just seems like everything's been going in your favor since then. Like the stars have aligned.
I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like, do I force myself to train harder and do better? Yeah, absolutely. I started training with some better guys. I don't know. It's weird. I got Mike. I talk to him damn near every day, and he helps me and he motivates me, and it's crazy. I have no idea how to explain it. I always seem to find the greatest. I do seem to find the greatest people, and I just get better. I don't know. It makes no sense at all, but I do.
How many fights have you had, Jake? In the UFC?
How many fights?
Mm.
Oh, in the UFC? Oh, man. 11 or 12. 12, 11, 11, I think.
Oh, awesome.
And tell me so Sambo, I'm going to bring Sambo up to speed. Tell me about, and tell all our viewers about the relationship between you and my boy Mike Francis here. How did you meet? How is this bromance? How did this evolve? Yeah, it's this total like bromance between like the heavyweight and the Marine, and this relationship which has helped both of you in Mike's business and your fighting, this friendship. Tell us the story.
I knew his brother, believe it or not. I knew his brother. I worked on his cars, and I met Mike, and I don't know, like we became friends, and it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, just every other person I met, I met his brother, and we became friends, and it kind of took off. Mike's a great person. He
is.
I don't know. You know how like when you tell people like, oh well, they really found like a good person and all that. That's Mike.
I know. I know exactly what you're saying, bro.
Mike is the man. Mike is.
He is.
He truly is.
Mike,
I mean,
what do you do that makes you the man?
Ooh.
What'd she say?
What do you do that makes you the man?
What do you do that everyone thinks you're the man?
Awesome
Well,
person.
I mean, I charge $50 to show you the answer to that. Shit ain't. It's not free. It's cheap. But it's not free.
Maybe offline.
Right.
Offline. You can show me.
Oh my
No,
God.
like you said. So my brother introduced us, and we started off by just talking about finances, because Dean was talking a couple weeks ago about fighters and their finances and things like that, and I was talking to him about SEP IRAs and reducing your taxable income, and all these different things, which people are always like, oh, I never knew. I feel stupid. I feel dumb. But like, they don't teach that to anybody. Nobody knows that stuff. I learned it. I learned it because I studied it. And just the more him and I talked, like, he is an amazing guy. Like, just incredible dude. And we started hanging out. We hang out whenever I come into town, and we kind of joke about how, like, we feel like we've known each other our entire lives. But I think the biggest thing that we have in similarity is that we just want to help other people.
Yeah.
Like he's like, yo, I'm going to Vegas. Give me a shirt with your company logo on it. I'll wear it. He ain't got to do that stuff, like friend or not, right? Because you guys know there's a lot of friends that do not support you, or that they'll talk shit behind your back. If you've got a business, like family members won't give you their business. They won't support you. And so that to meet somebody, and it's funny because he's like, oh, it's no big deal. It's just a shirt. And I'm like, bro, you're a fucking UFC heavyweight fucking fighter, on a national level. Like, you have no idea what it means to somebody like me. And that's just Jake, man. He's just the people he helps. Ronald, that new guy that came up from down around Cape Girardeau, helping a heavyweight guy who's got a lot of talent, who came up there to help Jake. And, he's helping him with his fighting. And, he's helped Dakota, to do what he's done and get where he's been. And that's just like, Jake is just always helping people. And I think that's what made us, who can help each other more.
So alongside of being a financial advisor, you also are developing this app called SBX. And funny story, just to kind of bring Sambo up to speed, Mike Francis and I met because we both belong to a networking organization here in South Florida. And we met because I was podcasting live and doing a live broadcast at this networking event. There was like 200 people there. And Mike Francis had a booth because he was promoting his company, and he was interviewed, and we've been friends since then. I mean, it's been well over a year, right, Mike?
Yeah, it was a year, like February.
So, and we've gotten to know each other, and it's just this great friendship that we've developed. But Mike is a master networker. And so this company is called SBX. And Mike, if you want to explain to everyone what this is and why Jake is wearing this shirt proudly on national television, on UFC Fight Pass. Yeah, what is it?
Well, the easy part's the reason why he wears the shirt is because he's just an awesome fucking dude that, is there for friends and helps friends. And it's funny, he was telling me about when he was out in Vegas wearing the shirt. I think the funniest part of the story was he's like, well, you had to leave your house to fly out there at 3 a.m. and you were up at like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning searching for that shirt.
I absolutely was. That's 100% true.
But he said a lot of people came up and they were asking about it and everything. And,
Do you have a shirt to show us right now? I want to see this shirt.
Show us right now.
I mean, I don't.
Oh.
I don't have. I just had a shirt made for Jake. That was the only important one.
Okay.
Jake, you got a shirt?
I could be honest, I have no idea where that shirt is right now.
I'll send you a picture. Or you know what? They can put a picture. I sent you guys a picture of him in the shirt. They've got it. They've got it on there.
Yeah. Hold on. While we're looking for that. So tell us a little bit about SBX while I'm sending David, our engineer, our producer, a picture so we can pop that up.
Yeah. So, I mean, the quick down and dirty is it's a quick way, 60 seconds or less, to find other professionals or businesses or things of that nature, anywhere in the United States, and then eventually the world, Australia, wherever. It came out of necessity down here. Whenever I was, became a financial advisor in Florida, clients were asking for CPAs, tax attorneys, estate attorneys, divorce lawyers, all these people, and they come to you because they trust you and your network. And we've all been there, like I went to Jake. I dropped 30 pounds in the last 11 weeks. Who do you think I went to for like nutrition advice? So it's like we go to those people that are close to us, but sometimes we don't have those people in our network, and we realize we need them in our network. And so SBX is just the best way to jump on and find that person that you can connect with and have a relationship like Jake and I, we were very fortunate that my brother was able to put us together and introduce us and everything. But, Jake didn't have a financial advisor, and I didn't have a big, sexy heavyweight fighter in my corner. So, it worked out. And what's that?
Do you link people together? This business.
I still didn't hear it. It's
moving people together.
moving people
do you link people together with expertise in things?
Right, exactly.
Oh,
Awesome.
Yeah.
There's the shirt.
Oh, look at that. That's a nice logo.
So, and then the reason, there are people that I have relationships with and know that I wouldn't necessarily want them representing what we do, but just Jake being that type of person that wants to help others succeed. And that's really the motivation for the app that we're designing is, success can only truly be achieved when it's been offered to others. And so that's what we want to do. We want to offer success. We want to help people grow their business, grow their brand, and become successful.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is there like a criteria you have to meet to be part of the business?
You hear what you said?
Is there criteria?
Is there criteria
You have to meet to be part of this?
So we are going to have things in place to prevent anybody from getting on from, Nigerian princes and stuff like that to scam people. Having a verification so you know who you're dealing with is the real person. Like Twitter has its blue check marks, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to make it accessible so that even the guy that's a handyman running a business trying to get started by word of mouth can be found. We don't want to make it just for the elites and charge people $1,000 a month to try to be found.
Yeah.
And
Thank God you're here, dude. I can't hear anything.
And this
I'm the
is
motorman.
that's okay. And this is inclusive of all professions. How does the app work? So let's say I'm a plumber, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking for an attorney.
Yeah.
I would go on the app, and how would that work?
Yeah. So when you go in there, you scroll using zip code or city, and you scroll through and you go to attorney, and then you swipe left until you find somebody that looks like they'd be a good match for you. And then you can send them a message instantly.
So it's like the Tinder for networking.
Yeah. Think like LinkedIn and Angie's List with a Tinder interface. So you don't have to have multiple things, multiple places. Go to one place, 60 seconds, you'll find the person.
So if I am a middle-aged housewife and I'm looking for a very sexy handyman, I can swipe.
Yeah.
And someone's like, yeah. And I can go, ooh, he has a 6-pack and a tool belt. I'm having him come over.
Big tool belt.
That's
there are tool men for that.
awesome. You are making housewives in America and all over the world super happy right now.
Hey, whatever we can do to help.
Gotta verify that account.
That's awesome. So
I
obviously,
never actually thought about it like that, but yeah.
see, he
Us
gets
women
it.
don't
Jake
need
gets it.
husbands anymore. We just use this app.
So now it's going to be, what was that app called? Madison.
Oh yeah, that weird Madison.
Ashley Madison.
Ashley
So it's
Madison.
LinkedIn meets Ashley Madison meets Angie's List with a Tinder interface.
Okay, this is going to be a very think about it, right? People are going to have ratings and pictures on this app, so you can rate if you've utilized their service, kind of like an Angie's List too.
I mean, which services are you utilizing, Janine?
5 stars.
I utilize very different services than the majority of people, but I mean, I'm on some questionable sites as well. No, I'm kidding. So I'm just wondering, let's say I found someone on SBX, right? I found a roofer, right? Someone that fixed my roof. And then I wanted to rate them. Is that an option there? So people would be like, oh, this person's used them, they're recommended.
Yeah, so we're eventually just because of the developing apps is horrible. It's the worst thing that you could ever do in the world. Maybe other than getting punched in the face for a living. But So eventually, yeah, you'll have the ability to rate. Go to X Hamsters for great deals on house pets. For people that don't know, X Hamster is like you're re-gifting hamsters. Like I used to have a hamster.
Oh.
Now it's my X Hamster. Somebody else's.
Oh my God, that is
Not a sight for furry.
I can just envision
Oh.
like Sambo. I can envision like really hot men with like on the roof, like holding something. Or Jake's laughing at me right now. But like you know, like you want to get picked, right? You want someone to buy your services, so you don't want a beer gut and like you don't want to look like
Hey, don't
something nice to
assume
look
people's
at.
kinks, okay?
I'm
Right?
just
Like the dad bod is like it's a thing, all right?
It's in these
the
days.
dad bod is a thing, but if I'm in my 30s to 50s and I'm home and I know my husband's at work and I need work done on the house, like I'm just saying, it's nice to have eye candy.
Fuck,
Yeah.
Mike. I might actually make sure my wife doesn't use your app. Fuck.
That's what I was gonna say. You're gonna make every man in America not want their wife signing up on our app now.
I will
All right.
promote your app. I will help promote that app because
So will I.
yeah, there's a lot of reasons why we need something like that. First of all, not everyone can go to networking events to meet people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
A lot of people, first of all, during COVID, everything was shut down and people tried to do the Zoom thing. And that really didn't work well when you're trying to have a conversation. Right. So think about it, Sambo. If we had an app where you could literally put in your zip code and look at people that you needed, I mean, other than aesthetically need, but in your area, you could do that, and it would be a way to connect people, and then so many other people would connect a lot easier than being in, let's say, a room with 200 people and maybe having conversations with 5 in a night because you can't get to every single person there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the time value, right? Like who we're spending our time with. It could be the wrong people. But also like another thing that I like about it is if Jake hits me up and he's like, hey, we're looking for an estate attorney. We're gonna draft up an LLC. We want to have a trust for the boys, all this different stuff. I don't know one in St. Louis, even though, believe it or not, like I could introduce you to somebody who could teach you how to do rodeo, horse racing, barrel racing and stuff. But I can, if he doesn't have the app, I can look that person up. I can use his zip code, and give a referral for him. And so not only can I help him and his family out, but then now I've got a network with this new person up in St. Louis. So if they need to put somebody in touch with a financial advisor who's moving to Florida, well, I'm here. So it just really, really helps build the network on a national and eventually international scale, which I think is so great that Sambo's here because look, I mean, you're on the other side of the earth. We have those relationships,
Yeah, like it's good. Like if I come over to America, which is the plan, I could use your app and help find, gyms or trainers.
Plumbers. Yeah, we know what you're going to use it for. Can't fool us after tonight.
So Sambo and I can see Sambo and I sitting in a room swiping, going, what person are we going to get to do work on our house today? Woo-hoo!
In our pipes. Who can we find?
What I really envisioned being an electrician would be.
You totally did not expect this conversation, did you, Mike? This is great.
But yeah, and it's super awesome. Like seriously, I can't say it enough. Like Jake, man, like he knows I love him to death, like a brother. I'd do anything for him, and just to have him as part of this. What was it yesterday? We were talking, and I'm like, yeah, you're going to be an equity owner. You're part owner of this company now, and he's like, man, you don't have to do that. And I was like, no, I'm trapping you. You can never leave. Like you're part of this family. You ain't going nowhere.
You guys have really developed this great friendship, which is awesome.
Yeah. Well, and which is another thing, like, since we do talk about fighting, we work together on different sponsorships and things like that. And, the one thing I would encourage fighters to do, like Dean was talking about a couple weeks ago, is like, you are your business, you are your brand. So getting involved with different businesses and, things of that nature. And, through networking, we did some stuff with Jake and his sponsors, and, like, his sponsors love him to death. He went, would you go down there Monday? Took him some stuff, some swag from Vegas.
Yeah, it actually was Monday. Actually, I saw by there today, and the bank lady was like, my husband really loved those hats and shirts and all that good stuff. Which, I'm glad he liked it. And it was just kind of one of those things.
And like that networking, like to get sponsorships and support and things like that. And I'm sure that's probably one of the last things like fighters are thinking about. They're not thinking about growing their network. They're thinking about training. They're thinking about nutrition, their diet, their opponent,
Yeah.
So you can use the app to get sponsors as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, awesome.
I mean, if you just want to sit there and, quote unquote, look for sponsors, just keep swiping through until you find a cute one. And
So Andy meets Lincoln meets
Mike, are you
Tender
on there?
meets
yeah.
So this is interesting story. So Mike is a Marine. Thank you for your service. And Mike served. Did you do 2 tours in Afghanistan?
Yeah, 2 Afghanistan, 1 Iraq.
Wow.
Amazing. And so
How long were you
Mike,
there for, Mike?
4 years.
I love how you casually say that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's dudes
4
that do, like,
years, no
What
big
was your
deal.
job there, Mike? What were in Afghanistan? What was your
What'd you
role?
I don't know.
What'd you say?
I said, what was your role in Afghanistan for those
Oh,
4
just-
years?
I mean, we were in the infantry. We were just combat people.
just combat.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I just put my life on the line
Just
every
shoot
day.
motherfuckers.
I mean, that's a big
I love
deal.
how you casually say that.
I know. We just
Hearts
casually
and
kill
minds.
people
Hearts
or
and
get
minds.
blown up. I mean, that's insane.
Oh
And your
yeah,
friend-
no. Yeah, we were infantry. We were just hanging out.
But you know how it is, man. Like, because we joke.
No,
we
no,
joke.
I don't. Honestly, Mike,
we don't.
I don't know what your job was, bud.
I mean, we joke about it sometimes. Like, the way we perceive ourselves, right? Like, him and I become such friends. I'm like, sometimes I don't even think about you being a UFC fighter. Like, and he's like, yeah, sometimes I even say that to myself. Like, wow, I'm in the UFC. Like, we don't think of ourselves like that. Like, like, because we live with ourselves, we get used to it, and then we live with one another, and we get used to it. And I mean, I appreciate the love and stuff, but we just went and did what we had to do, and then got to watch it all get undone last year. So
yes.
another story, but
Another story. Yeah. Understandable. Understandable. Jake, I'm looking at. Oh, where'd Jake go?
it's that Missouri internet connection.
It's, look at that cigar, Mike. You're famous for your cigars.
Yeah, cigars and chocolate milk. That's how we roll.
That's right. Chocolate milk. Oh my God, that story. Oh my God. Do you want to tell the chocolate? Let's go, Brandon. Yeah, exactly.
Bring me up to speed, please. What's chocolate milk?
Oh my God, Sambo. So Mike has this crazy chocolate milk story. Do you want to tell the chocolate milk story?
I mean, do you remember it? Do you want to tell it?
I kind of remember it. I think you were like sleepwalking. Were you sleepwalking?
Yeah. So apparently, that's a thing when you especially come back from combat. Do you ever do that? Sleepwalk?
I still do it.
Still do it. I'm kind of like over that phase now, but a buddy of mine, we went out and we were drinking and having a great time. And I remember like being back at his house, passing out like on the couch. There's like a show this happened back in what, 2006. I still remember we were watching, like, there was some show about dinosaurs on the TV, and I'm like, fucking dinosaurs, man. And I'm like falling asleep. Next thing I know, there's a knock on the door, and Don gets up and goes and answers the door, and it's the cops. And they're like, hey, do you got a blonde friend with a striped shirt on? So, like, of course I take my shirt off because that changes my appearance a little bit. And so I went out with them, and they take me 3 houses down. And there's a guy, it's like probably like 3 or 4 in the morning. There's a guy standing out there in a house coat with a cup of coffee. And I come around the corner with the cops, and he's like, yeah, that's the guy. And I was like, what guy am I? And he said, you don't remember me like waking you up? You passed out on my couch. He's like, I woke you up and you took off like running. And I was like, dude, no, like, no, I don't even know what you're talking about. I remember dinosaurs. Like, I don't remember any of that shit. And he's like, do you like chocolate milk? Which is weird whenever you did a breaking and entering. And I was like, maybe this guy's going to offer me some chocolate milk. Yeah, I love chocolate milk. And he's like, the only thing missing from my house was like a gallon of chocolate milk.
So he sleptwalked into this guy's home, broke into his house basically, and drank his chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Oh,
He was super
God.
cool. He was a Marine also. He had just done a deployment, and he had experienced a lot of sleepwalking too when he got back. Because I went over in the morning because he's like, no, don't take him to jail. Don't press charges. And
Just give
so
it
I
back
went
the
over and
chocolate milk.
was like, hey, thanks for not sending me to jail. And yeah, he said it happened to him too. And it's a thing, I guess, like sleepwalking is, when you come back from being over there.
Why is
Gotta run out of
Headliner.
stuff to do.
heard of this?
Yeah, I hadn't either until Mike told me, but can you imagine that headline, Sambo? Marine arrested after sleepwalking and stealing chocolate milk. Like, I cannot even imagine what that would have been like. That's hilarious.
I mean, kind of like the crown thing they think of us now.
The what?
Crown?
The crayons.
Oh, yeah. The whole crayon eating thing.
What's that?
Do you drink chocolate milk in the day at all, or was it just that one time?
So back then it was kind of definitely more of like a specialty and a special occasion kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
But now I think, and Matt Posner, the same. Both of us always have a glass of chocolate milk before we go to bed. Like that's our thing.
Mm.
I think
love chocolate milk.
my rationale is, if I have a glass of chocolate milk every night before I go to bed, I'm not going to get up and sleepwalk and break into other people's homes looking for chocolate. Like, satisfy your urges.
I could say so many things that I'm not going to about that. However, I will say that I went through a period in college where every time I had sex, I had to drink chocolate milk afterwards. It was like the cigarette because I don't smoke. So I had to have chocolate milk afterwards.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it was
Wow.
kind of, it was so weird. So I remember going to this guy's dorm, and after sex, I was like, do you have a vending machine with chocolate milk? And they did. It was awesome. That has since gone. That was 20 years ago. But I understand that urge for chocolate milk.
Oh,
Satisfy your
I've
urges.
never had that urge.
so Rachel just commented, this is funny. So she knew the story like back in 2010 when we first met, and she's always loved that story. And so we were both flying back from St. Louis, different flights is complete, or it was a coincidence, right? Like we didn't plan the trip together. And so we go when we're in Atlanta, and she's telling me about the Varsity. If you've ever been to Atlanta, like, about the Varsity. And I guess there's a Varsity in the airport, and they're supposed to have like the most amazing chocolate milk ever. And so I don't know how many terminals we went to before we found it, and it was closed. And so I'm like, God damn it, because she's talking up this chocolate milk like it's the greatest thing ever. It's better than sex chocolate milk.
Wow.
And so the next time I fly, we go back, or it's just me, and I'm going to the Varsity again. I'm like, yo, you guys got that good chocolate milk? And the guy looks at me like I'm a fucking alien. He's like, nah, what? And I'm like, chocolate milk. You know, they got burgers and hot dogs. Like, so I feel like an asshole. And I just figured this was like a long plot by Rachel to get me to like go there and make a fool of myself. I instantly called her. I was like, yo, were you just fucking with me? The whole chocolate milk thing? Because these guys, I'm like, these guys are looking at me like I'm an idiot. But she said, no, it's real. It is better than sex chocolate milk.
It's pretty amazing chocolate milk.
Really?
I'm from Atlanta.
So, wow. I need this. Can we fly that in? Can I like fly it in?
Yeah, I want to
Can
try
I ship it?
Chris just drove down here. I should have told him to bring some. I didn't even think about it. He just drove in from Atlanta tonight.
Nice. That's
the chocolate milk is pretty damn good.
You guys love your chocolate milk over there.
Yeah. Do Australians drink chocolate milk?
No. We love coffees.
You like coffee?
Coffee, yeah.
Coffee.
And cocktails.
Coffee and cocktails. That's a great podcast name.
Just
yeah.
Coffee and cocktails.
We should have cocktails.
I think we lost Jake.
We did lose Jake.
But there's a hockey game on tonight, and I'm sure that stole his attention. So.
Well, I love this. I like really appreciate. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to while I have a captivated audience?
Yeah, I mean, definitely Jake. Like, can't say enough how incredible the dude he is. His coach, and this is like never said, Patrick Smith is a Navy veteran. Jake's got a cousin who's a Marine who he always gave tickets to anytime the fight was nearby. So he's an awesome dude and definitely, supports our military. And so, of course, give a shout out to everybody in our military, like before 2014, because if you're in now, you're just a buster. Like you don't do shit. We don't respect you. So you had to serve before 2014 to get our respect.
Back when there was a real war.
Yeah, back when the wars were real things. But no, like seriously, then like you, Roy, there's been so many people, Rachel moving down here, her and her husband moving here, helping with the app. There's just so many people that have been incredible and deserve like personal shout outs that have helped us on this journey through life.
And I love your bromance with you and Jake. And I think that it's such a great friendship, and you promote him, he promotes you, you guys support each other as friends. And I think that's, at the end of the day, that's really what anyone wants in life, is to feel appreciated and supported by friends. And like you said, sometimes you don't get that from friends or family. So when you find that in someone, it's really special. And you never know who you're going to find that in. It could be a stranger that wants to help you in your business and be supportive. So I love that. I think that's great. And Sambo, do you have any shout outs you want to give to anyone from Aussie land over there?
Just to the real estate agents who've staged my apartment ready to sell, because that's what I've been busy doing this week. And to my gym, Resilience Training Center in Footscray. I love you all, and yeah. How about you, Janine? Any shout outs from you?
Do I have any shout outs? I am just so grateful to Fight Mixer TV and to be on this platform. I love Skulls and Stilettos. I love my brand. I love my logo, and I'm very blessed to be sitting here with an audience and you lovely people on a Wednesday night, and from 2 different continents. And I think it's fantastic. So I'm blessed. I love you guys. I can't wait to see what next Wednesday Skulls and Stilettos has to offer. And it's been fun. So thanks so much. Share with your friends. Enjoy. And thank you, Sambo. Thank you, Mike Francis. Thank you, Jake. I love you. You're watching hockey. God bless.
Thanks, Judy.
Having a hard time going back to the gym after working out at home? Well, now you don't have to with the X-Bar. The X-Bar from X-Bar Fitness is an incredible gym alternative that gives you the same intense workout you get at a full gym with hundreds of machines. One X-Bar alone provides the same workout as a cable machine, bench press, dumbbell set, free weights, leg press, barbell set, and all these other machines. Stop wasting time debating whether or not you should go to the gym. Order the X Bar to get a quality workout in the comfort of your own home.